Thank you, Michael. And that's no pothole. That's a community swimming pool waiting to happen. John?
It's an unfortunate place that we find ourselves in, and I don't pass the blame to past councils. Or this council on what needs to be done. And I don't even disparage the public for, saying, what are you guys doing? It's, you guys are increasing our fees, and this is unfair. It is unfair. As an individual with a household, I don't know how I'm going to work this increase into my budget. I don't. I wish I could say I had extra money setting aside. I could pay for this. I don't. So this hits hard. It hits real. Hits home. With my business, my employees get paid first before I do. And I'm looking at this as even more overhead. I don't know how I'm going to do that. We're just happy to be in business month after month. This is hard. I mean, this is real stuff. This isn't something I don't think anyone up here takes lightly, whether you support it or you're against it. This is real stuff. I think one thing that we are all guilty of is apathy. We have allowed this to come into being by allowing the state government and the federal government to grab more than they deserve of our autonomy, of our ability to self-govern as a city. We have sat back and allowed them to make the rules. And as a result, we have to play by their rules instead of doing what's best for the people of our city. It's our fault. We allowed it to happen. We also allowed our legislators to get away with not having proper controls over these state agencies. We just allow them to skate and not hold them accountable. And part of our apathy is when we've gone up to Olympia to lobby year after year. Did we lobby on cutting regulations on our cities? No. Not to the extent that needs to, not to the extent that we're dealing with tonight. That's our fault. We should be up there. That should be the top 10 list. Cut this regulation, cut this one, cut this one. We've also allowed easy access for environmental groups to take us to court if we don't comply. That's the other thing. We have not demanded judicial reform, so it's not that easy. So there are a lot of things that go into play into this. This is not an easy decision. And I don't envy anyone up here.
This is my second time around, so Jennifer, if you want to say something, go ahead.
No, I don't have anything to say.
Okay. Just briefly, when the staff brings forward a recommendation like this that's as carefully researched as this one is, and council members who come from entirely different backgrounds with varied experience and different approaches to governing can agree, as you've seen here tonight, that on a project like this, I think it merits our support. And what I've learned tonight is that from the past, it appears that what's popular is not always right. And for the present, what's right is not always popular. But sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and do it. And I think we're in that situation tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Any other questions, comments? Okay, moving to, actually, before we get there, I wanted to make a comment on one of the things that Molly had mentioned, and that's I think that's one of the endearing things about Molly is she is very optimistic and looks at things with a silver lining sometimes. I appreciate that that you view looking back at these on an annual basis as an opportunity to look at the numbers again and be able to see if we can't trim those down or if we've been successful in being more efficient in the utility. From a staffing standpoint, it's our obligation to bring them back every month or every year. So we'll certainly be delving to do that as we go back into budgets continually as well. With that, I will move to Agenda Bill 16510, the adoption of changes to the ordinance for water increases for fiscal years 2011 through 2015. Mr. Evers?
In 2010, the City of Washougal engaged in a utility rate study to consider the best management practices to promote the financial integrity and stability of the utilities to help ensure the sustainability of essential utility services. From this study, staff recommends the adoption of a water rate increase each year from the year 2011 through 2015, as shown on Exhibit A. The recommended action this evening, read by ordinance only, pass, post, and publish in the usual manner.
Mr. Mayor, I ask unanimous consent that we read the ordinance by title only.
Seeing no objection, so ordered.
An ordinance amending Washougal Municipal Code 3.92.010, parentheses 10, increasing water rates to be charged by the City of Washougal for the years 2011 through 2015 inclusive.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we pass, post, and publish the ordinance in the usual manner.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other council comments, questions? David?
For the staff, if I may. Trevor, this is for the period 2011 to 2015. That's a sunset clause then?
It doesn't allude to a sunset clause in FCS Group's executive report that I
But-
believe was handed out to you at workshop Monday night. It's a 5-year study.
Yeah. But the effect of it is the same as the sunset clause. In order to, at the end of this time, we'll automatically have to review the rates.
Right, and I
Okay.
believe Mayor Guard just alluded to the fact of revisiting them on an annual basis, even if the built-in escalator is considered.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Other questions? Okay, we've got a motion and a second to pass, post, and publish the ordinance in the usual manner. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Agenda Bill 16610, adopt changes to ordinance for sewer rate increases for fiscal years 2011 through 2015. Mr. Evers.
City of Washougal is engaged in a utility rate study to consider the best management practices to promote the financial integrity and stability of the utilities to help ensure the sustainability of essential utility services. From the study, staff recommends the adoption of a sewer rate increase each year for the years 2011 through 2015, as shown on Exhibit A. Recommended action, read by ordinance only, pass, post, and publish in the usual manner.
Mr. Mayor, I ask unanimous consent that we read the ordinance by title only.
Seeing no objection, so ordered.
An ordinance amending Washougal Municipal Code 3.92.020, increasing sewer rates to be charged by the City of Washougal for the years 2011 through 2015 inclusive.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we pass, post, and publish the ordinance in the usual manner.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any council comments, questions? Okay, we've got a motion and a second to pass, post, and publish the ordinance in the usual manner. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And Agenda Bill 16710, adopt changes to ordinance for stormwater rate increases for fiscal year 2011 to 2015. Mr. Evers.
Utility rate study was completed in 2010. From this study, staff recommends the adoption of a stormwater rate increase each year for the years